give yourself a hand. It's 13 Dragon Blade, again, coming at you with my last deck profile. I'm not counting character decks. Right now, I'm just counting the decks that I have built currently that are meta based. But you never thought you'd see this again. Looks familiar, right? Now that I have all of my Buster Bladers and there's no proxies in this deck, it's good to be the king. Finally have everything for Buster Blader. I'm gonna go right into the deck profile. They got the sleeves changed out. One Buster Blader, the Dragon Destroyer Swordsman. It is treated as Buster Blader while it's on the field or in the graveyard. When this thing kills something by battle, it can equip to it. Then you can send it to the graveyard, destroy all monsters your opponent controls of that type. Its effect doesn't target. So yeah, pretty much you want to run him at 1, as well as the original 2 Buster Bladers. Triple Buster Whelp, the Dragon Destroyer Swordsman. When this card is normal summoned, you can add a Destruction Sword card from your deck to your hand. You usually want to add the Fusion, or you want to add this guy, which we also run 3 of. Dragon Buster Destruction Sword. This is the one that prevents your opponent from using their extra deck. These two are mandatory to run at 3. You cannot make a good Buster Blader deck without at least running at least this guy at 2, and this guy at 3, and this guy at 2. Minimum. So, he also has 2 other abilities. His other 2 abilities are as follows. You can tribute him to special summon Buster Blader from your hand or graveyard. And if you control a Buster Blader, you can discard a Destruction Sword card, and you can special summon him from the graveyard, which is extremely helpful. Him, on the other hand, you need to equip to a Buster Blader monster, or Buster Blader, technically. Equip it. While it's equipped, it can special summon itself. Its other effect is while it's equipped, your opponent cannot have access to their extra deck. So, that being said, they're both 1-star tuners and cards of consonance targets. Very, very important. Then, 1 Tuning Magician. Now, this is a Magician Buster Blader deck, so that being said, let's hop into the Magicians. Tuning Magician's there for obvious reasons. 2 Oath Dragon Magician. Great card. When it is in the Pendulum Zone, once per turn, you can return one of your Magicians from your graveyard or your extra deck to your hand. When it's Pendulum Summoned, same thing happens. Really good card. And it's a 6, so you can use it with Tuning Magician to make a 7. Also very important because I run Crystal Wing in here. So you run this guy at 2 because that's just how we roll. 2 Dragon Pit Magician. I took the Dragon Pit down to 2, and it's been proving down to be just one of the best cards in here. Its Scale of 8 is very helpful. You want scales from 2 through 8 in this deck, or even 3 through 8, because you can still special summon everything. You don't have to worry so much about summoning the Whelp, because the Whelp is your normal summon, then you just Pendulum summon everything else. Like this guy, for instance. Timebreaker Magician is great. It prevents once per turn. If your Pendulum threats will be destroyed, you can protect it. Its other effect is you can banish it, as well as another monster your opponent controls until your next standby phase, and then you can keep doing it again. Very handy little card, but also very annoying. And Dragon Pit Magician's an MST, as long as you discard a Pendulum monster and you have to control another Magician in the Pendulum Zone. Then we have Wisdom Eye Magician. It's obvious why you should run this card. These are the one-ofs. Obviously, this card is at 1. Odd Eyes is not at 1, but I only run one of it. I only see to run one of it because you can search out everything else. 1 Archfiend Eccentric, just to get in there. Trust me, it has come many times where I've actually had to use this card. 1 Dragocedes, and is that his name? No, Dragodes. Sorry. His effect is really good both in the Pendulum Zone and in the Monster Card Zone. If he is destroyed in the Monster Card Zone, and you can add a Spellcaster type monster or a Spellcaster or Warrior type monster from your deck to your hand that has 2,000 or less attack. All the Magicians have less than that, except for Oath Dragon Magician. So you have pretty much your entire deck. He tutors out everything. That's why I run it at 1. Magical Abductor is just good. I only have room for 1 right now, but I'm probably going to bump her up back to 2 again. I only have 2, that's why. Alright, so that's all the monsters. Very important lineup of monsters. You have to have your pendulums ready. You have to have your Buster Bladers because you can pen Buster Blader really easily in this deck. All right, now let's go to spells. One Raigeki doesn't need an explanation. Soul Charge also doesn't need an explanation. Nor does Foolish, nor does One for One. Those are just good cards in this deck. Mandatory. One Buster Swordsman Fusion. No, Destruction Swordsman Fusion. Sorry. You can send a Buster Blade you control as well as a Dragon type monster from either side of the field, and you can special summon from your extra deck Buster Blade of the Dragon Destroyer Swordsman. One Upstart Goblin. Triple cards of consonants. You want to see this card all the time, and you have 6 Dragon Tuners to dump. So yeah, have fun with that. 2 MSTs. I don't have Twin Twisters for this deck, sadly, so MST will just have to do. And 2 Petal Call. This is just to get your Magicians, and it helps for setting up. Usually want to go to Wisdom Eye first, get Oath Dragon. Oath Dragon will add back your Wisdom Eye, and you can just start pendling like crazy. Card is amazing. I think I might run it at 3 eventually. And then the trap lineup, very small. Warning because it's warning. Bottomless because it's bottomless. Safe zone to protect your fusion monster. I think I might actually bump this up to 2. Safe zone is just so good. 2 Destruction Sword Memories. I love this card. It's so good. You can activate it, discard a card, and special summon a Buster Blader monster. Yeah, Buster Blader monster from your deck. That is already good. Its effect engrave is you can banish it as well as the materials from the graveyard to special summon Buster Blader, the Dragon Destroyer Swordsman. So even if your materials are in grave and you have no way of getting to it, but you have this in the graveyard, you can still get that off and just fuse that way. That is amazing. Then we have 2 Call of the Haunteds. Call of the Haunted is an amazing card. Obviously, I don't really need to go into it because it's Call of the Haunted. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna switch the spell cards and trap cards again. Kind of similar to my other deck profile. Alright, now for the new and improved extra deck. 2 Buster Blade of the Dragon Destroyer Swordsman. You want to see this guy almost all the time, so it's only good to have it at 2. It's a great card, but I don't think it should be ran at 3. 1 Black Rose and 1 Clearwing Synchro Dragon. I finally got this back as well. It's not ultimate, but it's secret, and I still love the card. You can make this with Tuning Magician and Oath Dragon Magician. You can normal summon it, or you can get it off 1 for 1, then you can make this, or you can make Black Rose. It just depends on the situation. If you want to stop your opponent from activating monster effects, go for this. If you want to nuke their board, go for this. It's a pretty easy choose to do. It's a pretty easy one. And of course, a double Buster Dragon. Wouldn't be a Buster Blader deck without Buster Dragon. You have to run at least 2. You can run 3 if you want to, if you have enough space in the extra deck. My extra space is kind of tight, so I only run this at 2. Because you can always, soul charge it back. You can use Call of the Haunted. Stardust Dragon also needs no explanation, just a good card. This beautiful motherfucker right here, Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. Great card. I haven't made it yet, but it's still very good. 1 Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. Now, this card kind of needs some explaining. His effect is really good. During either player's turn, you can target a face card your opponent controls. Negate that target's effects. Opponent, you can target 1 tuner monster individual and special summon it. You can only use each effect of Hot Red Dragon on and you need 1 tuner and 1 or more non-tuner dark synchro monsters. This being said, Buster Dragon is a dark synchro monster. Bam, you can make this guy. I've done that several times to bring back the tuners and synchro again. It's really stupid what you can do with this guy. Trishula also needs no explaining. I've barely made her. I think I've only made her once, but she's still there for extra caution, I mean, you can make her. There's plenty of ways to make her. Just it's very difficult. One Dark XYZ Rebellion Dragon, one Honor Arc, one Castel, one Big Eye, and one Lancelot. Those are really the only ones that I think that you should run. The extra deck space is extremely tight because you have to run at least two of the fusion and at least two of these. So that's already four slots taken away. The rest of them is completely up to your discretion. I just like having, different starred monsters. And each single one of them, they all do something special. Clear Wing negates effects, Crystal Wing negates effects, Trishula banishes, all that stuff. The XYZ set of the entire extra deck is kind of iffy, but I like this deck a lot. It's one of the few that can actually run Fusion, Synchros, and Exceeds together. The other one that I liked that was similar to it, but not exactly the same, was Ritual Beasts. Such a shame that I can't run that deck again. Oh well, part of the night. Yeah, you know what? It's also going to be a tribute, since I got this card back. It's 13 Dragon Blade, signing off.